The day I found out I got hired was the most emotional day of my life. My wife started crying a little bit, which, set me off. And then we hugged, and she gave me a card. And I read it, and the whole thing was filled out, how proud I am of you. And on the other side of that card, it said, and also, coming June 2015, baby Boyd.
I called my mom first, and I was like, we're going to San Diego. We're going to San Diego. I finally did it, and because I had told them since I was a little kid that I was going to move down here.
Well, I was home with my mom, so first person I told was her, and then I called my dad as soon as I could.
It's giving me chills thinking about it. It was the best feeling of my life. I opened it there in the parking lot, screamed and yelled and hooted and hollered because I was so excited that I finally...
In the parking lot of the...
Of the post office, yeah. So I got a lot of weird looks from some people because I was extremely excited over something they had no idea about.
Opened it up, kind of ripped it open in the post office and saw what it was, read it probably 10 times just to make sure, and I didn't really believe it at the time.
It was definitely I'm trying not to cry in the parking lot because people could see me and stuff, but at the same time I just didn't even care. It was just a real feeling.
And it was really emotional. I mean, I started welling up with tears, and I had reached the light at the end of the tunnel.
And I've already ran 3 blocks from the restaurant, so I probably ran faster back to the restaurant to open it with my wife. And I feel bad because I really couldn't wait to open it in front of her, so I opened it up outside and was kind of reading it, and I was already crying, but she didn't know at the time that there were tears of joy. So she's looking at me and I'm looking at her. Her eyes are tearing up, and I couldn't hold it any longer. I just told her I got the package, I'm in.
And he turned around, and out came this envelope. It looked like gold, this beautiful envelope. And I grabbed that letter, and I turned around my son. He was the first person I saw. And I turned around and just gave him that hug and didn't want to let go. And I was like, Daddy did it.
Something that was really unique was I spoke with my wife, I spoke with my parents, and I immediately went to call 3 different firefighters from San Diego that had helped me. And I think that speaks so much to what this career is. To have that quick of a connection, wife, parents, then immediately firefighters that I didn't know a year earlier, but it helped me get to that moment and wanting to share it with them. That said to me, you're on the right path here.
My house burned down when I was a kid. So one of the darkest days of my life, who showed up? Firefighters showed up. Firefighters have saved my father's life so many times I can't even begin to tell you. So all these things that have been done for me by the fire service, it was important and intriguing for me to be able to not only pay homage and respect, but also give back. And that's why I've chosen this. The first phone call I made was probably to my dad. And obviously in light of recent circumstances, it's pretty important that I made that phone call to him, and we're all good now. We're all good now.
Put your hands up open wide. Put your hands up side by side. Age don't matter, like race don't matter, like place don't matter, like what's inside. Let the kick drum kick one time. Breathe out, let your mind unwind. Eyes on the ceiling, looking for the feeling. Wide open, let your own eyes shine. Yeah, it's where the fight begins. Yeah, underneath the skin, beneath these hopes and where we've been. Every fight comes from the fight within. I am the war inside. I am the battle line. I am the rising tide. I am the war I fight. Eyes open, open wide. I can feel it like a crack in my spine. I can feel it like the back of my mind. I side by side. Age don't matter like race, don't matter like place, don't matter like what's inside. Yeah, every thought OD, yeah, every tree or seed. Big things come from a little dream. Every world is made by make-believe. I am the war inside. I am the battle line. I am the rising tide. I am the war I fight. Rise up and wide. I can feel like the crack of my spine. I can feel like the back of my mind. I am the war inside. 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 I am the war inside.
Say that louder. I will never forget my accountability tag again, sir.
I remember as a little kid in kindergarten that we took a community field trip to Station 7. I didn't really know them. They were complete strangers to me. When they greeted me and the rest of my classmates with a smile, that's what made me want to become a firefighter. Being a firefighter is not just riding a fire engine, it's not just wearing the cool gear, not just like looking cool in the movies. It's actually giving back to the community.
You're seeing somebody at their most difficult point, probably one of the most difficult points in their life. And you're there to make that situation better.
And so when I see someone in need, it's just an automatic reaction to just try to help them, in any way I can.
I think in a city like San Diego, it's truly unique because you're surrounded by so much service. I mean, the men and women who have come through here literally make everything possible for us. We run down onto the waterfront and you're looking out on aircraft carriers and naval training centers and helicopters flying over. And this city appreciates service because so much of the city serves.
So to be able to say that I'm part of that team that's here to help these people in this place that we live in and we're a part of and that we work in is a good feeling.
The big grand scheme of things, it's one big family and one big brother and sisterhood that we're going to be part of the rest of our lives.
To be part of this, it's an amazing thing. Like I said, it's an honor and privilege just to be here. And I'm still pinching myself, can't believe I'm here.
And they are inside your head. You got a voice that says you won't get past this one. You won't win your freedom. It's like a constant war, and you wanna settle that score, but you're bruised and beaten, and you feel defeated. This goes out to the heaviest heart. Oh, to everyone who's hit their limit, it's not over yet, it's not over yet. And even when you think you're finished, it's not over yet, it's not over yet. Keep on fighting, out of the dark into the light. It's not over, hope is rising. Never give in, never give up. It's not over. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, whoa. Oh, game, set, match. Time to put it in your past. Oh, feel the winter leaving. It's redemption season. Long live the young and high. Cheers to a brand new start. We're revived and breathing to live a life of freedom. Oh, to everyone who's hit their limit, it's not over yet, it's not over yet. And even when you think you're finished, it's not over yet, it's not over yet. Keep on fighting, out of the dark into the light. It's not over, hope is rising. Never give in, never give up. It's not over. Yeah, whoa. Yeah,
it's fun to be here every day. Like I get a kick out of being here around these guys every day.
20 years, you're still hanging out with these guys?
Sure. And I don't really know how to explain it to anybody. It's just the only way I could explain it to somebody who doesn't know is you'd have to experience it to understand it for yourself. All I see is blue uniforms. I don't see anything else. I see my family out there, you know. Family in blue.